over on Apple TV Plus. Arriving on Friday the 31st of January, we have a new documentary series called Vietnam, the War That Changed America. And here's a clip.
You may have seen movies about Vietnam, but this is the real story, told only by those who were there. We were brothers. The camaraderie is so strong.
You know he's willing to die for you, and he knows I'm willing to die for him.
6 episodes to this one, Hannah, and there have been some pretty exhaustive and very good documentary series about the Vietnam War, and it is a conflict that absolutely fascinates me, I must admit. I mean, for starters, what the hell was America doing getting involved? And it was because of this sort of absolute panic about the spread of communism, wasn't it? You know, but and America just I mean, so many lives were sacrificed on both sides, and the war dragged on, and successive presidents just continued to prosecute the war. So what makes this a bit different is it's actually to mark the anniversary of the fall of Saigon. In this, we're getting testimony from people who served in Vietnam, and they're using. I mean, Vietnam had sort of the most TV and film coverage of any conflict that had come before. So they sent a lot of camera crews out there. So you're getting that kind of boots on the ground action that was shot at the time. And you're hearing from these veterans about, what it was like, because, a lot of these people were teenagers. It's very moving, actually, because, there are 2 guys who feature who became kind of best buddies. Like, one of them was a big bruiser and the other one was kind of quite shy and nervous. So they kind of teamed up, and then one of them stood on a mine and survived. But, in episode 1, they're kind of recalling that. So it's looking at it through a slightly different lens. And interestingly, one of the people who features went on to write the Tom Hanks movie Castaway, and also to get an Oscar nomination for his work on another Tom Hanks film, Apollo 13. So this is very much up my alley, because I still watch The World at War, which I've seen countless times. I am fascinated by war documentaries, and Vietnam is just it's such a fascinating conflict. And in episode 1 as well, these 2 guys that I mentioned, they talk about the fact that they were the guys who got sent down when they started discovering these networks of tunnels beneath the sort of Vietnam jungle. They were the guys who went down into the tunnels, and what they found down there was remarkable, like these huge chambers where the Viet Cong could they had like an operating theaters down there, and they would eat and drink down there and sleep down there, and they connected different villages. So I think it's a new look at the war, very much from the viewpoint of the people who took part, and with the footage that was shot in and among the action. So I really liked it, and I will watch the rest. What did you think, Hannah?
Yeah, I really liked it too, although I always find these things, dreadfully upsetting, just that we don't seem to learn anything ever. And I think just hearing in this documentary style from the people who lived through the war on both sides of the conflict is what's harrowing and what's so upsetting. And particularly at a pivotal moment in all of our lives right now, it feels ever more pertinent, I suppose. I didn't know, if I'm honest with you, a huge amount about this war, as in sort of, the reasons and, the how it started and what have you. And you come away learning an awful lot. But I remember doing war poetry for A-level. And do you know what? It upset me so much at the time. It lives with me. And I actually find things like this quite harrowing. But it's so interesting and you learn so much. And as I say, at a time when it's so pertinent and so kind of in our lives, it's every reason to understand why no one's really a winner in any of these things.